today.
Now go.
How is the shelter in place affecting your posture? Perhaps you, like me, are spending too much time in front of screens being slouched over and sitting too long. We have invited the perfect speaker to help us upgrade our body's operating system through rewiring our brains. She is a certified perfect posture specialist and a certified 3-mat practitioner in Acupressure Meridian, muscle, massage, anatomy, and physiology. The recommended postures and corrective exercises we're about to learn come from anatomy and physiology courses and advice from authorities and medical expertise, including NASA's Life Sciences Division. Her forthcoming book, love this title, Remedies for Desk Potato Syndrome, is a body's operating user's guide. This morning, from head to toe, get ready to learn how to have perfect posture through rewiring our brain. Let's welcome Tana C. Hope.
Thank you. Okay. Did you know that prolonged poor posture is the leading cause of severe pain that many of us suffer from head to toe? Neck pain, back pain, hip pain, knee pain, all of the above. Why is that? The answer is bad posture is everywhere. More than 90% of us have some degree of poor posture. During the first 7 years of our life, whatever images babies see are then downloaded into our subconscious mind, which runs more than 90% of our life. Many of you look older than 7 years of age. If our brain is full of bad posture images that's causing bad posture, what can we do to correct this? Good news is that our brain can be rewired. We call that neuroplasticity. On average, it takes about 21 days for a new neural passage to be formed, and we call that new habit. Today, we are going to learn why good posture is important, what good posture is, and how we can rewire our brain to develop the optimum posture that we can live by. How do we rewire our brain? We need to clean out the old and replace with good posture images. And when the old habit comes back, we just have to keep reinforce until the new passage is developed. Going forward, you will be seeing this green thumb. Whenever you see this green thumb by the image, that is the signal to download, so your brain can be rewired to have new blueprint for your new good posture. Why is posture so important? Because it affects everything: physical, emotion, social. Just like your house needs good frame, our body needs good frame to hold everything that's in it and also function well. We have 11 functioning body systems, and 30 trillion cells. And every single one of those cells need a supply of blood, remove the toxin, and oxygen to use that nutrient. So what makes good posture? Basically, your body fluid needs to flow and your body needs to be aligned within the gravity line. Remember, over 70% of our body is in liquid state and they need to flow. We know what happens when liquid does not flow. Inside of our body, we have 60,000 miles of blood vessels. And lymphatic vessels are even longer. And we have 45 miles of nervous system. If we add all them up, we can make almost 5 rounds of the earth. Imagine that. We have to remember 90% of our vessels are in capillary form. And the size of that is 1/10 of our hair. And remember, we are living on Earth. Gravity is pulling us straight down to the Earth. Whenever you move, that changes the center of gravity. Therefore, we have to be aware how we are in relationship to the gravity pull. Make sure you are aligned nice and straight so you can work with the gravity, not against the gravity. What we do the most every day is breathing, standing, walking, sitting, sleeping, and doing all of them well is so important because what you do the most affects you the most. So we will start from the head. How are you holding your head? Your head is about 1/10 of your body weight. That's heavy. About from 12 to 15 pounds. That's just like a heavy bowling ball. And imagine if that's dangling off the pole. Your muscle has to really work extra hard to put it in your head as it should be. But many of us have head in front of the gravity line. Therefore, your body has to compensate. And that is why you have neck pain, because of the extra work that muscle has to do to hold your head. And your neck, that is really important because that is the bridge between your head and your body. Your brain is 3% of your body mass, and yet it uses 20% of body's daily energy. And most of them are used to maintain the basic functions of the neurons. Brain does not produce its own glucose. It depends on the blood to bring the nutrients, oxygen, and also remove the waste to function. Your body uses the oxygen to burn the glucose so your brain can use to make the protein that it needs to function well. Therefore, not bending your head is so important because whenever you bend your neck, you are restricting the flow of the blood to your brain. And remember, the size of the blood is very, very small So whenever you bend, it's like having kinks in the hose. It will not flow well. However, many of us have position of the head problem, including myself. The first thing that my perfect posture teacher corrected me about me was the position of my head. I'm only 5'2". All my life, I've been surrounded by tall American people with long legs, and I'm used to looking up for decades. So that was my default head position. I had no idea that I was holding my head bent like this. So what you have to do is push your chin back into place and make sure your head is in this position, not in this position or this position. Straight up on your spine, on your pole. The other thing that we do a lot, breathing. And do you know how you are breathing? Do you pay attention? Many of us breathe using our upper chest, having short breath. If you use diaphragm as it's meant to be, that gives more room for your lungs to expand. Bigger space, more air. Therefore, your body will have more oxygen to use. So you can do it with me. Put your hand on your tummy and inhale. And exhale, pushing your abdominal back in. That's how you're supposed to breathe. So remember, breathe using diaphragm. How about standing? Many of us actually do not pay attention how we stand. And many of us have that kind of posture. Do you know which one of these models is for you? The good posture is straight up, standing tall, with all the gravity line stacked up as a straight line. So that means your ear, shoulder, your waist, your hip, your knee, and your ankle should be all in straight line. That gives the most benefit with the gravity line. So make sure, chest out and stand tall, straight. That's how you stand. Sitting, that's a huge problem these days. We have to remember the Garden of Eden did not have chair and did not have computer either. This modern day sedentary lifestyle is causing huge problem. When you sit, your body is not functioning well because body is not designed to sit around. We are designed to walk around. And how are you sitting? Are you aware? You have to make sure that your back is straight and head right on the pole. And if you're looking at the screen, make sure your screen is at your eye level, not too low or not too high. And when you are sitting, you are in kinked up position. Look at your hip, knee, and ankle. That is why it's not natural for us to sit around in long period of time, because that restricts the flow. Do you know what BBS means? It's a nickname for gluteal amnesia, bed butt syndrome. It's commonly used term. Bed butt syndrome is when your gluteus medius stops working. Imagine your tiny blood vessels is crushed by our heavy weight for a long period of time. Lack of nutrients, lack of oxygen to work, and no nervous signals to know what to do. And so eventually it just gives up and it dies. And we call that dead bud syndrome. So what we have to do is make sure that we get up every so on, about maybe every 20 to 30 minutes. Make sure to get up so your body is not in kinked position, so your blood can flow freely. And tighten your buttock and then relax. Tight, relax. And also you can do tippy-toe up and down. That'll help more blood to flow through. So that's how you can start waking up the dead butt. There are many exercises that we can do on the chair. Even during the pandemic lockdown, we have no excuses for not doing it. There are very simple to do. You can do along with me. Put your hand behind your back and hold wherever you can. The further, the better, and move them up and down. And what that does is open up your chest and bring your shoulder back to the position where how it's supposed to be. So do that stretch. And another exercise, put your arms over your head and stretch like a cat. Ooh, like that. And move side to side. And if you use mouse for a long time, that'll develop carpal syndrome. So one simple exercise you can do is stretch your arm out and move your hand up and down, and you can do the same for your feet, heel, toe, heel, toe. That'll bring the blood to your extremities and help your blood to flow through your body. And another easy exercise is to put your arms straight out to your side and bend 90 degrees or not, and just move them up and down. But make sure that you are not moving your position of the arm. So not like this, but put little tension and move up and down. And another good exercise, put your one arm between your folded arm and stretch, and then stretch. See how much better you feel? These are just very simple exercises, and you don't even have to get up to do it. So make sure, take mental picture so your brain can be rewired and know what to do. Walking is another thing that many of us don't pay attention. The left foot is not how to walk. If you pay attention to those images, it's all landing on the foot all the way. If you do that, the weight of your body will compress the joints, and after a long period of time of doing that, your joints will break down and hurt you. So the proper way to walk is to, first of all, stand up straight, chest out, and land on your heel and bounce on the ball of your foot. So you are using the gravity, heel, bounce, heel, bounce. And another thing to remember is to put the weight on the outer side of your foot. And your feet is not straight like this, but slightly angled out by about 5 to 10 degrees. When I go to gym, I see many people running on the machine or walking really fast with a long stride. That is no, no, no. Because when you do that, you are ruining your joints. And the more you do it, the faster it'll be ruined. I have a friend in California. He's a very tall guy, and he has long legs. But he had a motorcycle accident when he was young. And if he walks too much or dance, that puts his ankle out of condition, and he has to use cane or scooter to walk to the station, the train station. So I checked his stride, and it was way too long. So I told him, remember to walk like a geisha, shorter strides, and walk like a cat, lightly. Heel, bounce, heel, bounce. It was very frustrating for him because he's a tall guy and used to walk with long strides. But when he did that for a while, he did not have to use cane or the scooter anymore. So make sure your stride is within your gravity line. Very important. How about sleeping? We spend more than 1/3 of our life sleeping. If your pillow is too high, that it bends your head, and your spine and the head will not be lined up, and 8 hours is a long time to hold that position. And when you wake up, your neck will be stiff and you won't be too happy. So the good way to sleep is to make sure that your head and your spine is lined up. And to do that, you have to use pillow that is not more than 2 to 3 inches. So remember that posture. Today, we learned how the perfect posture looks like, so your brain can be rewired to use that as the blueprint of the new perfect postures. How to hold the head, how to stand, how to breathe, how to sit, how to walk, and how to sleep. If you want to learn more about postures, Viva Life TV is the YouTube channel I have, and I have videos on perfect posture that you can watch to improve your posture if you want to know more about it. I'm writing a book called Remedies for Desk Potato Syndrome. I expect it to be published probably later part of this year, so make sure to check it when it comes out. And thank you so much for joining this morning. If you need to know more about perfect posture or need help with the perfect posture, please contact me. I offer a free 15-minute consultation. Thank you so much. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you so much, everybody. You can unmute yourself and show your video if you choose to do so.
All right. Hey, Tana.
Thank you. Tana.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. The chair I am sitting is a saddle chair. When we sit, we're supposed to be sitting on our sit bone, not tailbone. Many of us sit on our tailbone, and that causes unnecessary compression to your spine. So saddle back is designed to sit on your sit bones, so that might be something that you should consider getting, since we are spending so much time sitting around.
And what's it?
I'm sorry?
Where do you get a chair?
You see how it's bent? Yeah, it's called a saddle, saddle chair.
Okay.
It just helps to put your pelvic bone in the right position, so your body will use pelvic bone, not the tailbone. Thank you.
Thanks, Antonio. All right. So
Tony, you've blocked my video. Can you turn it on?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm working on it.
Tony, you blocked mine too. This is Christine
Mine
Torrington.
too.
My,
Tony, you blocked everyone.
I
All
am.
right.
Everybody's blocked.
I have a
I'm hoping
question.
I come back in.
Yes.
Patricia, your arm is off camera. Your arm is off camera, Patricia. How can we see your arm?
Tony, can you get?
Yes.
I'm working on it.
Thank you.
All right. How often? Because I walk to the kitchen and back, but how often do you recommend we stand up and do the exercises?
Good question.
I would say about every 20 to 30 minutes. More often, the better.
Well,
But every 20 minutes or so should work.
so if I'm in a coaching session, I just say, excuse me, I need to stretch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually,
Probably have the
moving
client
of your
stretch with
muscle. There you go. There you go. That's a great
Yeah,
idea.
Patricia, have the
Mhm.
client stretch with you.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
just what I was
Just
thinking.
do whatever you can do.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
Patricia said she spoke at this big Toastmasters convention, like in front of 300 people.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a different thing.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Tana, thank you for a wonderful presentation. And I've gone to physical therapists and I have a trainer and so forth, but what you did was so beautiful and simple and the visuals were fabulous. So thank you, thank you.
Thank
I-
you. Mhm.
And I try to do a lot of that, but great refreshers. My question is this: how do you walk up a hill? Because I've been walking up hills and it's really hard not to bend over. It's hard to keep your
Right.
body straight. So could
Yes.
Mhm. Yes.
you demonstrate that
Your
perhaps?
Many people look at the feet when they go uphill, but that's actually bad posture. You should be looking up straight and walk up.
Ella,
Yeah, when you are straight and walk up, put your feet in the right spot to walk up in the right position. Actually, going down is really better for your legs. Going up is harder. But yeah, make sure your head is up and press down firmly with your feet, same as walking, slightly out like that. But don't look down.
Okay.
That bends your neck, and also you'll know where you're going.
Thank you.
Tana, what do you want to tell the women about wearing high heels?
I am guilty of that crime as well. Shoes is really, really important for our posture and for overall health of our body condition. You have to remember, Garden of Eden did not have shoes either, and our body is designed without shoes. So there are many shoes that's designed to put your body in straight line within the gravity. However, I would say more shoes are not helping your posture, especially woman high heel. Sometimes we have to wear for the looks. I totally understand, and I do that too. But avoid high heel whenever possible. If you must wear, make sure they are not like this. I see some young girls wearing those high heel that's tiny. Whew, scares me. Yeah, avoid it if you can.
Okay, so it's okay for me to wear a small heel then.
Yes, only about 2 inches though.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah,
I've got a question.
Less the better. Mm-hmm.
Got a question. 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, I was walking along and I tripped on a tablecloth that was sticking out. Okay. Ever since then, I'm spending more time looking down than I ever did before. Just because it took over a year to get the dislocated shoulder and everything repaired. And I think that that's a tendency for older people to do anyway, is because they don't want to fall, because a fall can be very serious. How do you balance those two things? Keeping an eye on where you're walking at the same time by keeping your head up. It's
Right.
hard to have
Basically, you just need to be mindful of where you're walking and how you're walking, because your eyes in front of you, you can kind of see what's ahead of you. You do not have to be like this to see where your foot lands. You see what I'm saying? So just pay attention to where you are going. Therefore, there's nothing in front of you. Just being mindful. What can we do? I mean, we cannot be like this, or we cannot go like this all the time, but just pay attention to what's ahead of you and go forward. So not 100% like this, not 100% like this, but just pay attention to where you are going, but keep your head nice and straight.
I have another question.
Okay.
If you're sitting at a dining room table and with a laptop, and you should have it. I mean, I have mine so my elbow is like this on the keyboard. So I try to look out, and if I raised it, then my arms would be up. So if I bring it eye level, so doesn't it have to be kind of in between? I don't understand.
That means your desk is too high. There are new desks that's designed to be able to change the heights, and also desk that has a place where laptop or PC can be placed, so it's not sitting on the desk, but you can raise it up to your eye level. So your eye this way and your hand, and if your hand has to be like this, your desk is way too high.
So
this is not
for presentation. It's about posture.
Thank you.
Yeah, so pay attention to the height of your desk and see how you are ergonomically relating to the desk.
I have another question about shoes. These I do not wear, but I see a lot of young people wear these flip-flops that have no support. Surely a flip-flop isn't good for you.
Well, I think flip-flops better than some of those other shoes we wear that's too heavy and has a heel, actually, because flip-flops is usually not that high in the back. It's pretty much flat. So you are just being raised, but you are not in an angle. So I actually wore my flip-flops and traveled the entire island of a big island. But it was so comfortable because it has a nice cushion. And because it was comfortable, I was able to do that. So depending on the flip-flop, some of them are hard and difficult to manage the shoe. But if it's a snug, nice fit and not too angled, I would say flip-flops is not so bad. Better than high heel.
Okay, Fripp, so let's say you wearing flip-flops at the next Breakfast Club.
I am not a flip-flop girl. I always tell all my female clients, it's not so popular now, but a few years ago, nice shoes without a back, because I say you don't want to be walking and making a noise. Slap, 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 slap. It's distracting from your message.
Yeah, that's true. Slingbacks were like those too. Yeah, same thing.
By the way, Cheryl Rausch is also a rock star in the speaking world.
Thank you.
For
Patricia.
sure, yes.
Thank you.
She makes the world sparkle.
Thank you.
That's great.
She does.
Thank you.
Well, everybody, it's 8:33. So if you want to stick around and ask some questions, fine. I know some of our members have to leave right around 8:30. And I think let's just use this as an opportunity to thank Tana. It was was a great presentation today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done.
And
Oh, I see Jim Prost, my friend, has been in watching our speakers. Hey, Jim.
My guest Stu Berman is on the call as well. Hello, Stu. Welcome back.
Yeah.